Hey everybody, what is up? I got another Guild Wars 2 video for you guys today, an MMO that as I continue to play, I'm enjoying more and more. But I think so far what I enjoy the most about it is the PvP. And that's why this video is titled 5 Reasons Why Guild Wars 2 PvP is Worth Playing. In this video, I will be mainly referring to the arena PvP in Guild Wars 2 and not so much the world versus world, just because I'm not there yet, at least until I get the expansion or get to level 80, whichever comes first. That said, the first reason why this arena PvP is so worth playing is because you can practically do it at any given level. You can do it at level 1, you can do it at level 30, level 80, it doesn't really matter as long as you know your skills and as long as you know the combination between your passives and talents and everything syncs up to make a build that's viable. If you know your build and you know your skill rotation, it doesn't matter if you're level 20 or level 30, you're going to be wrecking some ass. And that's why I personally like it and play it a lot even though I'm only level 42, and that's because it's accessible. For example, in this match that you are going to watch, I only had to edit a small couple of parts for downtime, but I go 15-1, and you're going to see that. And granted, maybe the enemy team was trash. Maybe my teammates were godlike in terms of their skill rotation and build. I don't really know, but all I know is that the way I played seemed to be effective, even though I am nowhere near the max level. The second reason this PvP is worth playing is because it is continually rewarding. Every single game that I played, I got some form of reward that either progressed me through the various reward tiers in the PvP itself, which granted me anything from rare crafting resources to loot that I could use at my level of 42 in PvE, to straight up free levels from Tomes of Knowledge that honestly I've gone from level 30 to 42 from just doing PvP for maybe like 4 or 5 hours. But some of the best rewards I've gotten so far have been exotic level 80 gear that I can use on my character once I've actually hit level 80. And granted, those aren't even the highest rarity that you can get. You can get like legendary and then even ascended past that. But they are good starting gear in my eyes for those who are hitting level 80 for the first time or are just a fresh character. You also get some special currencies from PvP that allow you to trade those in and get even better loot for your level 80 character, so that's nice too. The third reason I find Guild Wars 2 PvP so compelling and worth playing is just the various modes that they give you. Most modes revolve around capturing points and holding those points as the counter on the top of the screen continues to count up for both sides. However, the more points you hold, the more the counter will climb, and then the first to 500 wins. But most maps often have some kind of special gimmick that will allow you to either reach that cap faster or give you an advantage over the enemy team, allowing you to capture and hold more points more effectively. And then you have the somewhat MOBA game type that was recently introduced into the game. It's kind of in a beta state, there aren't many maps for it, but from what I've played of it, it's pretty neat. You can summon archer NPCs as well as doorbreaker NPCs, which are good at like slamming down the doors to the enemy base, while the archers can either pelt other people or the doors themselves or what have you, or the guards. And it's kind of a neat mechanic because you gain these NPCs via this resource that is at the middle of the map in which both teams fight over. And both teams have to break the other team's doors down in order to go fight the equivalent of the Nexus that exists in other MOBAs, but is instead a giant NPC with their own fighting abilities and mechanics. And you can summon other people other than just archers and doorbreakers, and there are trebuchets, and it's a pretty thought-out game type. It plays pretty well, and I think it might need maybe some more polish and maybe some more refinement and things like that, but it's competitive and it feels good and satisfying to win and to just play. You also have competitive daily tournaments as well that once won leads into a monthly tournament where the rewards are greatly jacked up, and if you win that monthly tournament, you're gonna feel pretty damn special just because of all the perks that you get. Even though some of them are limited in use, it's still really cool, and you'll have definitely like a really super high EP at that point. The fourth compelling argument for Guild Wars 2 PvP, specifically the arena, I can't say for World vs. World again, but it runs really great. Arena specifically for now, but it runs impeccably. Like, I have this thing maxed out with super sampling, so it's running at a higher than normal resolution on my 1080p screen. And it's 60 FPS constant while recording. And my rig isn't even like super beefy. You know, I've got like an i5, pretty average, GTX 1060, 3 gigabytes. That's it. That's it. And it runs amazing. I have no slowdown. It's very well optimized. Sure, it's not the best looking MMO to date nowadays, but the art style and art design is pretty top tier, and that carries it a long way for any graphical qualities that it might be missing. And finally, in my opinion, the biggest thing Guild Wars 2 Arena PvP has going for it is the feeling of balance. The feeling that when I'm playing against other people, even though they're higher level than me, maybe they're more experienced, maybe they have more things unlocked than I do, I still feel like I'm able to put up a fight. And this kind of ties back to the first reason that I find the PvP so compelling. And that's because I feel like it's balanced to a point. It's not the best balanced or the most balanced, and I'm not certainly saying that it's perfectly balanced. I'm sure there are some issues. I just haven't really seen them yet. Sure, the map design might be flawed here and there. Sure, there might be a class that could use some tweaking. But for the most part, I don't feel like I've come across a situation where I've died and felt and said to myself that the reason I died was because the enemy's unbalanced, or that there's something wrong with the PvP, or that it's just unfair. No, the reason I died was because of me, and that I made a bad choice in, say, going 2v1, or taking on somebody who was full health and I was only half health. Things like that, underestimating my opponent, or just falling into a trap, things like that. Let's just say this, it's balanced to the point where me, a level 42 warrior, can play as well as I do, oftentimes have like a KDA of like 3 or 4.0, against people who have played far longer than me, who are much higher level, who have much higher gear, and I know a lot of that doesn't matter, but still, there is the experience aspect of it that comes into play, and I don't really fall behind in that aspect. I play my character with my own custom build using an axe and a mace, and some other passive skills that I've deemed acceptable to use. And I'm not saying I'm like a great player and that you should all worship me or think I'm amazing, but there's definitely something there that allows me to do that, and it's not just me that allows me to exceed. It's the game, the balance, and the mechanics itself. And that's what I really appreciate about Guild Wars 2 PvP. And I do feel that I'm going to be doing some more Guild Wars 2 content in the future, probably revolving mainly around PvP, but there will be other things that I'll look at as well, like beginner's guides, things like that, as I get more accustomed to the game. Because I honestly haven't been playing all that long. I played for maybe a couple of weeks past launch, and really haven't picked it up again until now. So there's a lot for me to relearn and to reacquaint myself with. Like, I've never hit max level in Guild Wars 2 before. So there are still many, many things I don't know, including everything that the expansion offers, which hopefully I'll be getting soon. But let me know what you think in the comments down below about Guild Wars 2, about the PvP. What do you think of it? What do you appreciate about it? If you have any criticisms on the things that I listed as positives about it, let me know. We'll have a discussion about that, and I think viewing other viewpoints like yours is good. It's a good thing to do, a good thing to talk about. If you enjoyed the video, you know what buttons to press. There's about 4 minutes left of this PvP combat clip that I wouldn't mind you guys seeing, because I thought it was pretty cool, so I'm just going to let you guys watch that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.
That feels good.
Be ready to give the signal and return fire once the cannons are loaded. The bazaar is yours. Cannons loaded. Ring the bell to signal them to fire. The dock's been captured.
Eat my dust.
Red team, ring the bell. Fire all cannons. Your team is victorious.
That looks valuable.